Welcome back to the channel. Today we aren't just talking about getting rich, we are talking about building wealth. There is a massive difference. Being rich is having a high income. Being wealthy is having assets that pay for your lifestyle even while you sleep. In this video, we'll explore the three pillars of wealth: the mindset, the system, and the compound effect. By the end of these 8 minutes, you'll have a roadmap to change your financial destiny. Ale. The biggest barrier to wealth isn't your bank account, it's your brain. Most people are stuck in a consumer mindset. When they get a raise, they upgrade their phone or buy a faster car. This is called lifestyle inflation. Wealthy people, however, have an asset-first mindset. They don't buy the Ferrari first, they buy the cash-flowing real estate or the stocks that eventually pay for the Ferrari. You have to learn to delay gratification. Ask yourself, is this purchase an asset or a liability? An asset puts money in your pocket, a liability takes it out. To build wealth, you must prioritize owning things that appreciate in value. You cannot work your way to true wealth through a salary alone. Time is a finite resource. If you trade hours for dollars, there is a ceiling on how much you can make. You need a system. The first step is the gap. The gap is the difference between what you earn and what you spend. The wider the gap, the faster you grow. Step 2 is automation. Don't wait until the end of the month to save what's left. Pay yourself first. Automatically move a percentage of your income into an investment account. Whether it's index funds, real estate, or building a scalable business, your money needs to become an employee that works 24/7 without a break. Albert Einstein reportedly called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world. This is where the magic happens. In the beginning, progress feels slow. You might invest for 3 years and see very little gain. This is where most people quit. But wealth is back-heavy. Most of Warren Buffett's billions were made after his 65th birthday. Compounding requires two things: time and patience. If you start investing $500 a month with an 8% return, in 10 years you have $90,000. In 30 years, you have over $750,000. The math doesn't lie. The best time to start was 10 years ago. The second best time is today. But here is the catch. Compounding only works if you don't touch the principal. Every time you dip into your investments to buy a new gadget or fund a vacation, you aren't just taking out money, you are killing a money tree before it has a chance to grow. To see the magic, you have to be disciplined enough to leave the engine running. If the formula is so simple, save, invest, wait, why isn't everyone a millionaire? It's because of the silent killers of wealth. First, there's bad debt. High-interest credit cards are reverse compounding. They work against you with the same intensity that investments work for you. Second is the search for the shortcut. Many people lose their capital chasing get-rich-quick schemes or volatile meme coins hoping for overnight success. True wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. As Naval Ravikant says, all returns in life, whether in wealth, relationships, or knowledge, come from compound interest. You have to stay in the game long enough to win. The real reason most people never reach the finish line isn't a lack of money, it's a lack of endurance. We live in a world of instant gratification. We want the one-click delivery, the overnight success. But wealth has a different tempo. It requires you to be okay with being boring for a long time. It requires you to keep investing when the market is crashing and everyone else is panicking. Discipline is simply choosing between what you want now and what you want most. So, how do you bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be? First, audit your leaks. Look at your bank statement and find that leakage, the subscriptions you don't use or the impulse buys that don't add value. Second, build a safety net. Before you go all in on stocks, ensure you have 3 to 6 months of expenses in a liquid account. This is your sleep well at night fund. And third, start small, but start now. Don't wait for the perfect time or a big amount. Even $50 a week compounded over decades can change your family's tree forever. Ultimately, the goal isn't just to have a high net worth, it's to have a high freedom worth. True wealth is the ability to wake up and say, I can do whatever I want today. It's the peace of mind knowing that you aren't a slave to a paycheck. The math is simple, the formula is proven, and the time is ticking. The question is, are you willing to wait for the magic to happen? But remember, building wealth isn't just about you. It's about changing your family's trajectory for generations. It's about being the one who broke the cycle of paycheck to paycheck living. When you invest today, you aren't just buying stocks or real estate. You are buying the future freedom of your children and their children. You are building a legacy that outlasts your own career. Let's be real for a second. The next few years will pass anyway. You can spend them wondering, what if? Or you can spend them building. The market will go up, the market will go down, but the only variable you can control is your own discipline. Don't let another year slip by without planting your money tree. The cost of inaction is far higher than the risk of starting small. Think about the cost of waiting. If you wait just 5 years to start, you aren't just losing 5 years of savings, you are losing the most explosive growth period of your wealth at the end of your journey. That 5-year delay could literally cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars in the long run. Most people say, I'll start when I have more money. But the truth is, you don't get money to start. You start to get money. Even if it's just the price of one coffee a week, put it into an asset. Prove to yourself that you are the master of your finances, not the victim of your expenses. Discipline is a muscle, and today is your first workout. The world is full of people who know what to do. They know they should save, they know they should invest, and they know they should be disciplined. But knowledge without action is just a daydream. The 1% isn't the 1% because they are smarter. They are the 1% because they execute when it's hard. When the market is red and everyone is selling in fear, they buy. When a new luxury car comes out, they stick to their old one because their eyes are on a bigger prize. They understand that every dollar spent today is a seed that could have been a forest tomorrow. The question isn't whether the system works, it's whether you are willing to work the system. Imagine yourself 5 years from now. You've stayed the course, you've ignored the noise, you've automated your wealth. You wake up and for the first time in your life, you don't feel that weight on your chest. No debt, no boss to answer to, and no fear of the future. That version of you is waiting, but they can only exist if the version of you today decides to start. Don't let your future self down. You owe it to them to be brave, to be consistent, and to be patient. Wealth is not a lucky break. It is a series of right decisions made over and over again. Thank you for your time. It's the most valuable thing you have, and I'm honored you spent it here. Now go out there and start building. This is Rutch Routines, and I'll see you in the next one.